Hi, it's Alani, bringing you music and stories from my personal journey. So this video today is about my influences from the day I was born, my preteens, my teens, my 20s, my siblings and my parents and my friends. This is a two-part video, so stay tuned and I hope you enjoy this one. The one thing I absolutely love about music is the memories you build around it. So for instance, like if you hear a song, you remember back in the 80s, something happened, like you did a little dance and people laughed, or you think about your first love and the song that you both loved. I love that part of music. And growing up in South Africa, we were very lucky, myself and my siblings. We were very lucky to have been able to be exposed to an array of genres, especially because my mom and my dad both loved music so much, as well as my grandparents. So starting back in the 80s, I remember things like my dad loved the Commodores, the Beach Boys, he loved Sixto Rodriguez and bands like that. Then my mom was like the opposite. She absolutely loved things like Alice Cooper, Uriah Heep, Led Zeppelin, David Bowie, and that genre. So it was a kind of like a mix of, everything that came with who they were and what they represented. And we delved deep in that music as kids, because not only because we had a record player, but also because my mom used to she used to play the music and reminisce. She used to be nostalgic. She used to bring in the elements of her life and who she was and her memories from when she grew up. And those memories became our memories, even though we weren't there because we weren't born. But we could relish in my mom's memories because of the way she carried herself with music. And my dad as well. I think for my dad, I remember as a little kid when he would play a record and he would dance with my mom and they would smile and laugh and whatever. But I think for my dad, it became a lot deeper because he found a space where he could be himself. And unfortunately from there, he had to go to the army. And they went to war, the border war here in South Africa back then. And it kind of, I want to say it kind of ruined him in a way, because he lost all of that joy and then he had to find it again. And obviously my dad got married again, and I have other siblings as well, and a stepmom. And the thing I love is that he was able to find himself again through music. And yes, it still stayed with the Beach Boys and the Commodores and all of that, but then it became a lot more modern, where he started loving things like the Springbok Nude Girls. His favorite song was Another Universe. And I remember, just to touch on more about my dad, is before his passing last year, his song played quite a lot. And I actually think that even at his funeral, after we played it, and we drove away, and my brother went and stayed with his wife at I can't remember the hotel out there. The song played when they got to the hotel, and when I put on some music, that was the next song that played. And my other siblings in Cape Town, Kaylee and Keegan, they also heard the song. So it was kind of like my dad was communicating with us through his favorite song. So that's oh man, I can just sound waves, thought waves, energy waves. I can go deeper into it, but I guess I don't have to, because you get the idea. And also, just to mention, when my mom passed this year, it's been very difficult because it's only been 2 months now. I think it's 2 months. Yeah, it's been 2 months now. And the day I went to see my mom in hospital, she was unfortunately unconscious, and She had a pipe down her throat and her eyes were opened, and I touched her hand and it felt like her body had already gone stiff and whatnot. I knew in my heart that my mom wasn't in her body anymore. My sister-in-law and I got in the car because we waited for the whole day and the whole night, waiting for some answers from what's going on and what can we do and what can be done and whatnot. But as soon as we got in the car at 10 o'clock at night, we started driving in the parking lot to get out of the hospital parking lot, and my mom's song came on the radio. Now, this song is not a popular song. It might be popular to some people, but it's not a commercial song in terms of it plays every day on the radio and they're killing it. It's a song called Break My Stride by Matthew Wilder. And if you don't know it, go and listen to the song. It's absolutely brilliant. My mom lived by this song. It starts with, last night I had the strangest dream. I sailed away to China in a little rowboat to find you. And you said you had to get your laundry clean. You didn't want no one to hold you. What does that mean? And you said, nobody's going to break my stride. Nobody's going to hold me down. So when the song came on the radio, I just feel emotional thinking about it. Anyway, I hate crying in videos. When the song came on the radio, my sister-in-law and I looked at each other and we were both like, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make it up. And then again, after my mom passed, my sister-in-law, so that was my sister-in-law Janette, my brother's sister Ellen. My brother's sister. I am my brother's sister. My brother's wife, my brother Ellen, his wife Janette. My brother Kenneth, his wife Rochelle, was down in Joburg, was up in Joburg with us as well. And the two of them went to drive out to take some things to the morgue. And the minute they drove out of the where my brother lives, out of the yard, out of the garden, the song came on again. And they sent it to me and I was like, you see, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot. And when I'm talking about you can't make this stuff up, this stuff meaning sound waves, energy waves, everything's energy. How do our loved ones communicate with us from the past? How do our loved ones communicate with us from beyond? And I think, to me, they communicate with us in a way of what we associate them with. So, for instance, my grandmother, when she passed, we saw robins, and she loved robins. And anyway, so I'm getting a bit off topic here, but that's the beauty of music. I love music so much because of this, and I've made a couple of notes here about some of the songs that my siblings and I love, and growing up and what we've loved. Because I think growing up in South Africa, it's been a case of whatever was on the TV, whatever was on the radio, that's what you listened to. But with us, and I'm sure there are some people out there that will say, yes, but it's the same for us because our parents were the same as yours. For me, it was the case of a mix of my dad's songs that he loved, my mom's songs that he loved, my grand's songs. By the way, my grand loved, I think I wrote here, Annelie van Rooyen, the song's called Neem My Op Vlerke. Oh, what a gorgeous song. Gorgeous, gorgeous song. And Rina Higu and Gek Korsten and who's that group again that sang By the Rivers of Babylon? Boney M. So, my gran loved all of those. And we grew up with that as well. So it was a mix of all of that. So for me, it's a love of all genres, all music. And even to modern days, I say, I'm not keen on the R&B today and the rap and the pop, because it just feels so fake. And then when I look back on the music, I think, okay, maybe all music is fake, but we love it because that's life. That's people are writing about what they feel and experience. And that's where my songs come from. I write from what I love and what I experience. So anyway, so let me start with saying, I'll start with my siblings. So my sister Franlene, her full name, my sister lives in Chicago, and I haven't seen her for about 10 years now. I think it's 10 years. When we grew up, we had this little radio, and we used to put tapes in and then wait for Barney Simon to come on, or the Top 40 to come on, or whoever the DJ was. That was our favorites, Top 40 and Barney Simon. So as soon as they come on, we'd press record and record every single song that we loved. And this is how we got to know new music. But in our house, my sister played and loved very specific songs. So things like what was John Cicada, Milli Vanilli. But most of all, I've written here that my sister absolutely loved Richard Marx Has It. She loved that song, and she played it so often, as well as Madonna's Frozen. She loved that song so much, and I think she still loves it to this day. It's dark, it's intriguing, and the vocals are amazing. The music is encapsulating. So that was my sister Friendine. So when I hear these songs, I immediately think of her. Like immediately, she comes to my mind, and I'm like so grateful for the songs and the music that I am reminded of good things that we did when we were teenagers. It's just, I love it. And then my brother Alan. So Alan is a year younger than me. Friendline is I almost said 4 years older than me. 2 years older? I think 2 years older than me. Alan is a year younger than I am. And the thing I love about Alan is he doesn't care who's watching. He doesn't care who thinks what. If a song comes on and he loves the song, he will sing to it. He will kind of move his body to it. And the one song that there are a couple of songs that I relate to him. Not relate, what's the word? There are a couple of songs when I hear the songs that I think of my brother Alan. And the one song, and he knows this, is called Crazy by Knowles Barkley. Oh my gosh, what a song. What a song. I can just see him going, how does that the one lyric line go, where it says, ha ha ha, bless your soul. When that part comes on, then I can see my brother singing it. So anytime I'm in the shopping mall and the song comes on, I immediately grab my phone and I record it and I send it to him, because it's kind of like I link the song to him and good times. And I think today even, my brother's got this awesome bar in his house that he built, and everything revolves around music. He built this jukebox out of a one of those gambling machines, and and it's such a cool machine. I wish I could. I think I must actually get him an interview with him or something like that, and get that machine on a video so everybody can see how genius my brother is. Flip, this guy is a genius. So apart from that, he went and took the bar, the tabletop of his bar, and he put he's gonna kick me. What is it called? Epoxy, and then that's the transparent epoxy, and he put a bunch of things in there that reminds him of good times, like bottle tops and all sorts of things. Anyway, I'll make a video about it. Anyway, so when you walk in there into my brother's bar, music is playing 24/7. And it's not just his favorites, it's his wife's favorites, it's country songs, it's his kids' favorites, his friends' favorites, his family's favorites. Whatever is playing, you know that you're going to love it. Okay, except for some of the stuff that he plays, I go, I don't like this. But it's kind of like gets you in the mood, because it's either summer vibes sometimes, or it's Afrikaans music, or it's country music, or it's golden oldies, or it's our parents' music. And you know, when you walk in there, you know, you don't even have to say, hey, we're having a party tonight. You're in the party. You're literally in the party. So I love that. I absolutely love that. And also one thing I want to mention about my sister is, because she loves music so much as well, is, you know, she incorporates it into her life. And I think her husband also loves music just as much as she does. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think their favorite band was Nickelback together. But I could be wrong. And if you're watching this, Fran, sorry. And then my younger brother, Kenneth. Kenneth is 6 years younger than I am. And we share a love for music together. And I think it's probably because he lived with me for a while when he was in high school. And he was my roadie at one time. He used to carry my bass amp around until he became a bassist. But our love for music together started when we used to go watch bands together. We used to watch bands like Wicked and 16 Stitch and New Academics and Pestroy and The Narrow and Wonderboom and who else is there? There's so many. Tree 63. These are all bands that we love together. Still to this day. Sarin Gas, who are now, by the way, Seether. Who else? Am I missing anybody? Cutting Jade, Fetish, Sugar Drive, Springbok Noodles, so many bands. But these are the bands that shaped our days together. And not to mention, obviously, the bands that I were into when I was a teenager, he was also into. And I'll get into that in a minute. But with Kenneth, the song that reminds me of Kenneth is a very different song. And if I mention the song, he'll go, oh, I love that song. And because in between the metal and, you know, everything around the stuff we love, like grunge and all of that, this song sticks out like a sore thumb. And the song is I Love to Truck by Dr. Victor and the Rasta Rebels. I have no idea to this day. I actually need to still ask him. So Kenneth, if you're watching this, please tell me in the comments or message me in a voice note why you love the song and where your love for the song began. Because I don't know, but if I hear the song, I see you. That's it. Anyway, love that song. So when Kenneth used to live with me, we used to go and watch bands at The Doors in Edenvale. Unfortunately, it's closed now. But The Doors was, it was like a home ground to these amazing bands like The Narrow. And, you know, there are other venues and whatnot that stick out, like Purple Turtle in Cape Town. I can't even think now. I'll do another video about that. But The Doors really brings back amazing memories. Bands that played there that influenced us, bands that played there that really, I want to say again, shaped us, for lack of a better phrase. It shaped us because along with the past music that we grew up with, and then the teens and whatnot, our 20s, my 20s, and then my 30s, not my 30s, my 20s, my late 20s, and when my brother entered his 20s, Kenneth, those years were dynamic and fun and hip, and we were on the go all the time, and we were having fun every weekend. The house was filled with music still, you know, and unfortunately life happened, and I kind of lost it for about, I think 10 years that I lost a bit of the music vibe in the house. And I didn't want to listen to music because I associated it with heartache. But that's another video for another day. Anyway, let's rewind back to my teens, my preteens and my teens. So here is a song and a genre that nobody would associate me with except for my friend Bongani. So Bongani, if you're listening to this, you know what I'm going to say. apart from the Janet Jacksons and the Brandies and all of that, the one song, it's called Catch Me by Marsha Raven. When I was in my preteens, I think I might have been 9 or 10, when this song came on, I used to dance. Obviously nobody was in the room, but I used to dance and love dancing to the song and singing the song as if I was singing to a lover or whatever. But this song was my jam. This song was my jam in my preteens. And I don't know where I first heard it. Probably, I don't know if, I have to go and do a bit of research, but I don't know if MTV was around in the 80s, probably was. But I started watching MTV in my teens, not my preteens. So I don't know to this day where I heard the song, but it's stuck in my mind, and I'm 44. It's stuck in my mind still that I can sing the lyrics even better than I can sing Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice. So anyway, moving along. With that, I then got into Salt and Pepper, Jade, SWV, and the guys from Too Close. Next, sorry, they sing Too Close. The guys from Next. Then Color Me Bad. Yeah, we won't go into that. And then PM Dawn and all of that. Then I got into, I don't know if anybody can remember POD. So, well, obviously people can remember POD, but I don't know about my people, POD. But along with that, I then got into Nirvana, Bush, Blind Melon, Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, and then it got even deeper. Then I got into Sepultura, Anthrax. My favorite song from back then was Planet Caravan, but the Pantera version, not the Black Sabbath version. Black Sabbath version is okay, but I think that Pantera just livened it up a little bit more, brought in a little bit of acid rock into that, and yeah, the visuals that come with it. That song, love it. Anyway, so then fast forward, I then got into Incubus and Chevelle and Cinch and Butterfly Effect, Tool and A Perfect Circle, and then I got into Wardruna, then I got into Eivor, then I got into Heiling, and so on. Anyway, so yes, it's been a journey. Oh, and what I want to say as well, with the South African bands, one band to check out, which is a very, very sweet older band, is Mean Mr. Mustard. So my producer, Mark Beling, was the original vocalist for Mean Mr. Mustard. And I loved them, just like I loved Watershed and Granny Smith. All these bands, I've really got to break them down a bit in another video. But yeah, so these bands, so what I want to say about the Mean Mr. Mustard is, you know, with my producer Mark Beling, he has single-handedly shaped my sound. Yes, I've got all these influences, and I've got this history with writing my own lyrics and history with writing poems, and that's where I started. I'll make a video about that as well. But Mark Beling, when I entered his studio for the first time in 2020, he made me feel so at home. It was the first time in my life that somebody actually listened to me, heard me, and guided me. And to help me create the songs that I dreamt of. And I'm not talking about, that's also another video for another day. I'm not talking about the songs that I've done with Nancy. Yes, those songs are amazing, and yes, Mark has captured them beautifully. But Mark, you know, I'll make a video about my process with Mark. I won't give much away now, but I'll make a video about it. What I send to Mark and what he receives and what he makes from it, I was like, what? This guy's a genius, and you can't compare him to anybody else, honestly. But that's definitely on the cards to make a video about that. So yes, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to my parents. Here's a photo of them when they were younger. Look at that. How beautiful is that? I'm grateful to my parents and my ancestors for bringing the music, for sharing the music, for loving music so deeply that I love it so deeply, for allowing us to enjoy music the way they did, and for letting us play music in the house so loud that they would walk in the room and say, turn it down. And then we say, yeah, but listen to this. You have to hear this part. It's so beautiful. And then when they hear it, they go, oh gosh, that's good. That's really good. You know, and Christmas times, they would blast the music. You know, even if other people are like, oh, I thought you weren't a Christian, you know, that type of thing. That's also another topic for another day. Then it's like, but it's music. You have to hear the song. Even at funerals, you know, we played so much music at my dad's funeral. We played music at my mom's funeral. All the music she loved, like Taxi Man from Evoid. You know, I can go on and on and on, but I just want to, I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful to my parents. I'm grateful to my siblings. I'm grateful to their partners that also love music. I'm grateful to my friends that love music as well. My friend Bungani and I can talk each other's heads off about music. And he's an attorney doing music law, which we'll also do an interview and a chat about music law with him as well. And what he told me about something called music politrix. Anyway, sorry, I'm probably going to get that wrong, but yeah. And I'm grateful to all the people I've known, and I'll talk more about all those people in later videos, but I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that music is there. I'm grateful that I can hear music, and I can feel music. I once had